Clip of the day.
I want to give you, what was it? Was it Walt Mossberg and did they work for the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah.
They left?
Yeah, they left to start their own thing because they're business people at heart,
right.
I guess. I don't know what they're thinking.
Is that working? Do you think that does anything work?
I doubt it.
Who knows? So the Wall Street Journal has tech reporters. Oh, my God. The Wall Street Journal is an actual publication with, like, real money, right?
Yeah. Well, it's part of the Rupert Murdoch empire, so they got plenty. Even if they're losing money, they can have plenty of money.
This is the state of technology journalism on the Wall Street Journal. And what you're going to hear is a guy explaining not only how Tor works and what it is, but also how the government is in cahoots with Tor. And I would just, this is a video they have on their website that goes along with their story, and it's two guys. It's just baffling.
Well, there's a browser that's become very popular called Tor, and it has some legitimate.
Are you hooked already? Are you hooked on the Wall Street Journal?
Starts off that way.
A
browser called Tor.
Yeah, let's listen to the whole thing.
Well, there's a browser that's become very popular called Tor, and it has some legitimate uses, some illegitimate uses. And what it does is it masks the identity of a user's computer when he or she's visiting a website. So in a lot of cases, it's become popular among criminals who are hacking, trading pirated material, and in a lot of cases that law enforcement has been interested in child pornography. So we've seen a couple of cases now recently where...
By the way, standard go-to, child pornography.
The FBI, Homeland Security, and others have been able to basically lift up this, get around this sort of cloak of anonymity and manage to identify certain alleged criminals. They're usually doing that, though, not by finding some technical way through this software, but by exploiting mistakes that users make. And some of those mistakes are highly technical, but in a lot of ways, it's applying old-fashioned police work to a very new technology here. I think at the beginning, this browser was sort of a dead end for investigators. They would see that someone was using it, and they would say, that's a black box. We can't figure out who's on the other end.
That's exactly how it went down. That's exactly how it works. Yes.
And that would be the end of the investigation.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Now, though, they've spent time talking to some of the people who work on Tor. It's a nonprofit group that runs the source code.
That runs the source code.
And they've learned that there are lots of vulnerabilities that they didn't know about, because if someone is very, very careful, they can pretty much hide their identity through this thing. But if they're not, then they usually make a mistake. And there are cases where even very sophisticated users, very sophisticated hackers have eventually slipped up.
That is the state of technology reporting, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, stop the presses.
No.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to continue the show. It's going to be one of those rare opportunities where somebody actually gets two clips of the day in one show.
I
don't know what I'm not worthy, but I do want to thank my team. I want to thank my producers, my managers, everybody over at Warner. And
what's that guy?
He's the technology reporter. There's two guys. I can't even talk about how dumb this is.
It's outrageous.
And it's in the Wall Street Journal. Now the takeaways are interesting. That the people at Tor, the nonprofit group who's running the source code, which of course includes the known sex maniac IO error Jacob Applebaum, who pretends like he's a part of the team, but he's really just a spokeshole for the outfit. They're basically helping the feds who funded them. It just baffles me that this is technology reporting we're getting. And then, BBC News, I'm just going to do a couple of tech things here because it's too funny. BBC News is very happy to report that Yahoo has encrypted their data centers. So everything that flows between their data centers is now encrypted. Who cares?
What does that even prove?
Yeah. That's part of, I think there's a quote probably from Marissa Mayer. Our goal is to encrypt our entire platform for all users at all times by default. Yeah, okay. Right. Well, encrypting between your data centers is meaningless. Then, of course, you can't encrypt everything because that would ruin your business model if you couldn't see what your users are doing, because that's the way you roll.